Go live.
We are live. Good job, Potfeet.
We are live. How exciting. I was just bragging about my automation that I'm so proud of that is like 1/1,000,000th of what Mike Price did for me. But hey, it does solve a bit of a problem, so that's good.
So Alistair's here. Well, I guess.
Alistair?
Yeah, I haven't seen him in ages.
Would you like to know what time it is at Alistair's house? It is 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Well, welcome, Alistair. Also,
I would like... Is the election over yet, Alistair? Sorry.
Are they having an election in Australia?
A, he's not in Australia.
Oh,
B,
New Zealand.
No.
I don't understand it then. So
no,
go ahead. You first.
I was just laughing with Bart because he said something about the election being 2 weeks ago, and my first reaction was, "Are you serious? That was only 2 weeks." Anyway,
I'd like to give a shout out to Rick, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Rick!
What? Happy birthday, Rick!
Yeah.
Cheers! I had a celebratory gin and tonic because I
Cheers,
totally
Rick.
knew that. All right, where's Lindsay the daughter?
Yeah, where is she?
I don't see her.
Another successful trip around the Big Star. Yes, it's a moderately sized star, but it's big enough for us. That's for sure.
Alistair says my input is lower. That's interesting. That never happens. It's usually Steve who's low. My input volume is at 100%.
Are you talking about Discord, Alistair? I assume you are, since you're in live show. Listen.
Yeah. I mean, I could go a little higher, but
so remember to
the sound check was good on.
Remember to turn me off in Discord and on in Mimo.
Oh, I did that. Don't worry.
All right.
I never forget that because I hear you twice.
Yes, it is big.
That's my listening back of Discord. Yeah, I've got my input up to 100% in Sound Source, and it's right where it's perfect for the recording. So I am going to. And
I can turn myself down a little bit.
Oh, that might be it. Ian
here?
Hasn't been here in a while, and Franco Carroll's back.
Yes.
And Jill is here. Jill, technically, I did forget for a couple of days to send you the extender. And then when I went to do it, it was the day after trash day, so we didn't have any boxes big enough to pack it in. But Steve has a package waiting downstairs that I'm hoping he will give to me that we can ship that extender out to you tomorrow. So it's all Steve's fault. Okay, Frank is saying, "Where's the video?"
I'll give it to him. I'll put it in the chat.
Is it broken?
No, it's working.
There it is. But isn't it in podfeed.com/live?
So, Frank, if you're hearing this...
is it not working on podfeed.com/live?
Frank, I just put a link in Discord. That should do it for you. Are you in live show?
It did take a minute or two to activate. Okay. All right, so we got Frank and Jill and John and Mike and Rick and Sandy and Michael and Alistair. And we got Mike Price over on the right again. We've got Wheels over there and Alistair again. Zoe's playing with her bacon. I don't think she's actually in here, though. How's that for roll call, Steve?
It's pretty good. Fast. It's one of your fastest ones.
Yep. Very exciting. Well, we could get this show on the road.
We could.
I am not going to be doing many of the reads here today, but we are going to have some fun. So I'm going to mute Steve. Ian, long time no see. How's the boy? Daniel, how's Daniel doing? Let's see. You know what's funny? In my real life, I can't remember anybody's name, and I can remember Ian's son's name. You know? I remember Sandy's daughter's name. That's just a joke.
Isn't her name Allison?
Yes, it is. And when is her birthday? April 20th. All right, I'm going to mute Steve and get started. Oh, it's good to know that Kevin says hello. Yeah, I think he's doing better. I think he's on the uphill side finally. So that is good news. Yeah, where is TJ? That's a good question. All right, here we go. All right, undo gain change. Why? That's an odd thing for it to be saying to me. I'm going to do another test recording because it looks like it moved. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever-so-slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, November 22nd, 2020, and this is show number 811. Well, we have an extremely big show today because in Security Bits, we had 2 security mediums. So it's long and it's chewy and it's wonderful. They were both really, really interesting, and I learned an awful lot. So I hope that's okay with you, that we've got lots of really interesting stuff to talk about there. But because of that, I trimmed a couple of articles from this week's show, and I moved them into next week for 2 reasons. One, because the show's going to be really long anyway, but it allows me to relax for the holiday week next week. But I do want to give you a heads up, because one of the articles that I am moving to next week has kind of a time-sensitive element. Yeah, I'll say that again, a time-sensitive element in it. I'm going to be telling you about an app called Folge, Folge, which might be the replacement for Clarify that we've been looking for. Now, I'll explain a lot more about it in the article, but if this pricked up your little ears with interest, you may want to read ahead at the link to my article about Folge, because it's on Black Friday sale right now till the end of November. I don't want to spoil it any more than that because it's a fun story, and the normal price for Folge is probably still worth it, but I want you to go check it out if you want to jump on the sale, and you can do that by reading the article entitled, "Can Folge Replace Clarify for Making Tutorials?" And if you're in your podcatcher right now, there should be a link to it, to that article in here, and that's if I remember to do it when we get to the end of the show, but I think I will. Well, this week's Chit Chat Across the Pond is an installment of Programming by Stealth, but you may have gotten the wrong episode in your feed. I accidentally put the wrong one in, and I fixed it about 1 minute later, but those darn podcatchers of choice are too fast, and they may have picked it up before I fixed it. If you hear the wrong number, just delete the episode and ask your podcatcher to download it again, and it should all be sorted. With that, here's what the show is about. As we continue to learn Git from the command line for version control, Bart teaches us some tricks to travel through time. First, he shows us how to view more compact Git logs so we can see just a shortened hash and the first line of our commit message. Then he shows us how to pick out a single commit from the past and see what was changed. Then he shows us how, with surgical precision, we can go back in time and get a single file or even just the changes from a specific commit and bring those forward in time. Now that sounds headbendy, but I could immediately see the usefulness of going back in time and grabbing some code that was working well and bringing it forward. Anyway, you can read along and as you listen with Bart's fabulous tutorial show notes over at pbs.bartificer.net. There we go. Lindsay! Oh, goody! Did I or did I not just say, where's Lindsay the daughter?
She is here, although she's not in live show listen, but she is in the chat room.
All right. Well, so she can't hear me.
Well, she can hear you. She's watching the video. I think she watches YouTube. And
Oh, okay. She's in YouTube. I got you.
Well, I assume so. We don't know that.
This week, I don't know. Oh, wait. Hey, Steve. Hang on.
Got it.
Oh, good. There he's ready. Okay. Here we go. Let's
Here comes
all
the magic.
be excited. Well, that's not going to work. I don't have the link ready. What did I do wrong? Are you laughing at me? Because we have plenty of time to make sausage today. There was a typo. There it is. And there's a typo. But I do need the link to... Didn't put the link into Chit Chat. The good news is I think I got the link correct. I didn't post to Programming by Stealth with the wrong link. I just did it wrong to Chit Chat. So I figure most people probably have the feed separated. But that's my guess. You can hear the podcast at or in your podcatcher of choice. There we go. So you don't have the link, Steve, but I think that's okay.
What is this for?
That was the link to Chit Chat.
Oh, I put one in there. 661.
Yeah. How did you get it?
It
wasn't in the show notes.
No, I went to the blog posts.
Oh, well, look at you go,
or the
girl.
Chit Chat posts.
I was going to say, that's pretty good. Okay, now we're ready to show it. Okay, here we go. This is exciting. Okay, I want to go Control, Command, Option, Shift, H for Hindenburg. And I'm going to do a right click, and I'm going to do a copy link. And I did not hear a second beep. Did I talk over it?
I didn't see it. Is it not working?
Didn't work.
Oh, no. What are we going to do?
I have a question, Mike. How do I abort halfway through? I mean, I'm sure it's my problem. Let's try it again. Okay, there was beep 1. Copy link. Okay, there it goes. I think because I didn't start with Hindenburg active. That's what's wrong.
There we go.
My bad.
Yeah.
It's never Mike's code.
Operator trouble.
All right. I saved. Did anybody tell me to?
I'm sure Rick's on it.
All right. Frank, your avatar doesn't have long hair. Frank is challenging me that his hair is longer than mine.
I saw that. That's pretty good.
All right. Here we go. Let's see. So, let's bring up this chapter mark. We get to do it again.
Oh.
Here we go. There we go. Let's do it again, because now we got to do the one we got to be here. And we got to go get this one. Shift, Control, Option, Command, H. Oh, I didn't bring this over far enough so that you'll be able to see it. Watch the excitement. Copy link. And you can't see me actually copy. There it is. It's a beautiful thing. Brings a tear to my eye.
That's pretty.
Why is it the exact same link? Because you grabbed the wrong link.
Can
garbage
you get rid
in,
of
garbage
those?
out.
Delete.
That just means we get to do it again.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Grab the right link this time.
I might. It's possible. Okay, pressed all the keys down. It's the Catalina one we want to do. And copy, and now it should look different. Unfortunately, Mike's code does not check to see if I grabbed the right link.
Mark made it.
Mark Poley?
Sauntering
Mark
in.
Poley's here. He's excited. He got a free copy of Folge.
He did.
He and Dave Ginsburg.
They were the first
you don't
ones.
Even listen to the show anymore, do you, Mark? And you still got a free one.
He just timed it well.
Yep. Well, he was in the Slack.
Yep, he was.
I got to tell you, it's fun to be in the Slack and in the Facebook group. I was trying to think how to do the giveaway, and I thought I could tweet it, but then, people probably follow me who don't listen to the show, so I decided to go with the Uber Geeks and go with Slack and Facebook.
You might want to just summarize what you did. I don't know if everyone knows about the giveaway.
Yeah, I debated whether to tell the story about that, but the problem I had was that the developer, Alexei Shrabini, I think it is, he PayPal'd me $60 after I did a review of the app. And I didn't know what to do about it. I was kind of, I didn't really want to take money from a developer. That just doesn't seem right. It would always feel funny. And because I don't want to be paid for that. So I denied the money, and I said, if you want to do something fun, why don't you give away a license? And he said, how about 2? So I posted it in Facebook and Slack at the same time. First one to say pick me wins, and Dave Ginsburg and Mark Poley figured it out. They got there first, and they won. So does this mean Mark's not listening to me?
He may not be.
Is a way to watch and chat on the same device? Does he know about podfeet.com/live?
I've never heard that before.
Jeez. Why don't you just do that, Steve?
Yeah, you can do that.
I chat in Discord, yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm going to do an article here. How about that? Muting Steve.
Do.
Here we go. We all know that it's important to stay patched so you stay secure. That is if you've been listening to Bart for any length of time. But I gotta say, macOS is making that a bit harder these days. The problem is that Apple really wants you to upgrade to macOS Big Sur, but if you're not ready for that big jump, it may be hard to notice that you have macOS Catalina and Safari updates left to apply. macOS Big Sur is a huge change, and it's usually a good idea to let the bleeding edge folks work out the kinks. It's also not a bad idea to wait for Apple to make at least its first update before jumping on the new hotness. You may have applications that are not yet macOS Big Sur compatible, so be cautious with a big upgrade like this. Now, I'm not a proponent of waiting a long time to upgrade to the latest OS, but caution, especially on a big change, is definitely warranted. While you're waiting for the OS to stabilize, you want to keep macOS Catalina up to date, but Apple makes it difficult to see just how to do that. While you're still on macOS Catalina, if you open up System Preferences and select Software Update, you'll see a big icon for macOS Big Sur with this obvious Upgrade Now button. But we don't want to upgrade to macOS Big Sur just yet. When I took the screenshot for the blog post, I actually had updates to macOS Catalina and Safari waiting for me, but it wasn't obvious that they were there. Under the icon for macOS Big Sur, there was some little tiny text that said, Other updates are available, and then a blue link text that said, More info. If you click on that tiny More info link, it'll reveal the updates you really do need to apply. In my example, I had macOS Catalina 10.15.7 supplemental update waiting, and the notes below clearly say that this update improves the security of macOS. There was also a Safari update to 14.0.1, which had some speed enhancements, but also security fixes, including the removal of support for Adobe Flash. Well, you really want this update. After you apply any Safari or macOS Catalina updates, the Safari Update Preference pane will still say More Info, just like it did before. But if you click the link now, when you don't have any other non-Big Sur updates, it's going to open the Apple webpage telling you about all the awesome features of macOS Big Sur. I presume this More Info link will change back to showing you security updates for macOS Catalina and Safari when new ones are available, so you'll have to be vigilant and pay attention looking for the updates. I don't like that Apple has made it so undiscoverable that security updates are waiting for us. I would really prefer that they had made two equally obvious buttons, one to upgrade to macOS Big Sur and one to update to macOS Catalina and Safari. Actually, I'm going to read that again. Updates. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it that Apple has made it so undiscoverable that security updates are waiting for us. I would really prefer that they had made two equally obvious buttons, one to upgrade to macOS Big Sur and one to update macOS Catalina and Safari. I think they're doing a disservice to the community by making it this hidden. As I said up front, I'm a big proponent of getting on a new OS when it's practical to do so. But you know what? It's the user's decision when to do it, and they shouldn't be tricked into doing what could be a catastrophic upgrade. I mean, what if your applications aren't ready yet? A lot of mine aren't. Anyway, since you're probably the family nerd, if you're hearing this, please pass the blog post along that you can find in your podcatcher to your friends and family so they stay patched, so they stay secure.
Stay patched and stay secure.
He changed it.
What does he say?
Listen very often.
What does he say?
Stay patched so you stay secure.
Ah, good point. There's a dependency.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because
there we go. There's no period there in the sentence, and there was something else funny. There were two. I think I got. There it is. There were two dots, two periods at the end of a sentence. Yeah, I'm going to send that back to the blog, and please stay published. Good. Did I miss anything? Hey, Lindsay, Forbes should call me after the show.
I don't think Lindsay actually is here. She popped in probably accidentally. She's not
man. I was all excited. Forbes owes me a phone call.
Careful, you'll get it right during the show.
Stay patched, stay subscribed. Maybe Santa clicked something.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I loved it. Where was it you posted that? I posted the picture of Sienna watching the show, and you wrote after it, to be fair, she did fall asleep. Lindsay didn't want to post that video, so that's why that wasn't followed up. I thought it was funny, but...
in Slack, he says.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Bookmark and chapter mark. Oh, I should chapter mark.
Good job, Rick. He's on it.
That's a grand idea. Yep, you just earned your living right there.
Earned your keep.
It's a preview, so... Alrighty. So we're halfway done with me doing the recording.
Well, it's 5:20. You're doing okay.
Hazel 5, are you watching? Oh, you guys aren't even watching.
Oh,
I
hold
guess
on.
Nope.
Hold on.
Nope.
Whoa, caught it just in time.
No, I'm gonna do it again.
All
I don't
right.
like. I had the I had the thing in the wrong place. Okay, here we go. Boom. Hazel 5 is a standalone link. Beep again. Nothing up my sleeve. I'm never going to get tired of it. I am literally never going to get tired of it. I promise I will still be like 5 years from now going, did you know Mike Price did this? This is amazing.
Oh, anyway. Frank.
What did he say?
That was priceless.
That was priceless. No, that was actually price full, to be exact. All right. Recording time.
All right.
Nope. There we go. There's a category of apps that provide a unique functionality and for which the user community is split into two camps. Those who are zealous about that functionality and really get why it's awesome, and those who don't get why they would ever need that functionality. A perfect example of this category is clipboard managers. I was in the second camp for a very long time because I simply couldn't understand why I would ever need to go back to my clipboard history to get something. And then I got CopyM, and I've never looked back. I find it very hard to work without a clipboard manager now, and I use it several times a day. Hazel is another example of this category. Hazel's mission in life is to watch folders for you and take action on the files within. When I first heard about Hazel, I didn't get it. Why would I want an app that watched folders? You know, the early examples were for people who were scanning in documents and going paperless and all that, and I wasn't scanning in documents at the time. But I finally eventually broke down and I watched David Sparks' Hazel guide, and I finally got it. I really understood what it could do and the power behind it. And it's not just about scanning in documents. I do use Hazel for scanning in documents, but that's actually its primary purpose for me. My favorite usage is that I have it watch certain folders, and when the files within get stale, it moves them to my network-attached storage, which is a Synology disk station. As you can imagine, I create a lot of data for the podcast each week, and after a couple of weeks, I'm certain I don't need it with me on my laptop, so it gets filed away on the Synology into different folders depending on the content. After I record the NosillaCast, I upload it to a service called Auphonic, which levels the audio, sets it to the loudness standard for consistency, adds the album artwork, and uploads the MP3 file to my hosting provider, Libsyn. When it's done, it offers to also download the finished MP3 file. Hazel keeps a watchful eye on my downloads folder, and when it finds a file matching the pattern of my podcast naming convention, it moves it into my podcast audio folder for safekeeping. That folder, in turn, is one of the folders that is watched by Hazel, and the files are moved to Synology when they get stale. I've told you a few times that I have a folder on my drive called Delete Me, my favorite folder. This folder's whole purpose is to tell future me I already have a copy of any file found inside, or the file was never important enough to keep in the first place. I have Hazel watch Delete Me, and after files are a week old, they just get dumped out to the trash. At one point, when Dorothy and I were working out the process for her to keep the Programming by Stealth index up to date that she created, we thought we needed her to FTP stuff to podfeet.com. Now, I'd trust Dorothy with my life, and certainly with my technical digital life, but we wanted to figure out a way around this, just for the geekiness factor. I solved it with Hazel. I created a folder in Dropbox called FTP to Podfeet, and I shared that folder with Dorothy. Then, if Dorothy put a new version of the JSON file into that folder, Hazel would find the match to the name and use its own built-in FTP tool and send the file with my credentials so it would go up to my server. After it sent the file up, it would politely throw the file in the trash. It was so nerdy and cool. I was actually kind of sad we didn't end up needing it, but it was fun that we figured it out. Now, I'm really embarrassed to admit that there are a few things Hazel can do that everyone would like, but I only discovered very recently. You can have Hazel delete files in the trash when they hit an age of your choosing, and you can even have the trash kept to a reasonable size. Let's say it gets over like 1 gigabyte. It'll just start deleting the older files. One of my favorite newly discovered, like new to me, but everybody else has known about it forever, is that Hazel has a feature called App Sweep. If you delete an app by simply throwing it in the trash, you'll have all kinds of cruft left over on your system, like plists and cache files, save states, and downloaders. They might not cause a problem, but they may someday, so why not delete them? With Hazel, if you enable App Sweep and you throw an app in the trash, after just a couple of seconds, Hazel will pop up a window asking you, "Would you like me to clean up all this glop that was left behind?" I used to use Parallels Toolbox's Uninstall Apps tool to delete apps. It was supposed to find these orphan files, and it did find some, but I found that Hazel had to clean up after Parallels Toolbox. I wrote to the Parallels people, and their support was completely uninterested in my findings, and like they wanted me to send them log files. I'm just saying, hey, your app's not doing what you think it is. I did send them log files, and but I suggested they simply test their own darn app. I mean, I find any app you want to delete with it, and it's not going to get all the slop. Anyway, I gave up on Parallels Toolbox, and now I just throw away apps and wait for Hazel to clean up after me. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm taking this trip through Hazel, since it's been able to do all of this for ages. It's because Hazel has a huge new update. In the past, Hazel worked as a preference pane in System Preferences, but the new Hazel 5 is a standalone app. This allowed the developer, Paul Kim, to provide some nice enhancements and to make it ready for macOS Big Sur. Now, I've just started playing with it, but it's got some really nifty new features. You can now add some organization to your watched folders by creating folder groups. So now all of my bill scanning rules are in one pile, and all of my podcast automations are in another pile, and that makes me really happy. Now, this one sounds like a dumb thing to get excited about, but Hazel has undo now. Locked in the cage that was preference panes, if you messed around with a rule, you had to cancel without saving if you broke it. Now you can remove rules and undo, and even remove steps from your rules and undo, or just fiddle with the settings in a rule and undo them. Experimentation will be much more seamless now. The interface overall feels much more intuitive and more discoverable now. I went back to a Mac I hadn't updated yet because I thought I'd found some new features, only to find they'd been there all along, but it's discoverable in the new app. In Preferences for Hazel 5, you'll find new layout options. I really like the option to have a specific rule I'm working on in a nice wide pane down across the bottom, and the folders and rule lists in 2 panes up above. It puts the widest item in a wide pane. I think my single favorite improvement in Hazel 5 is that you can now pop out rules into floating windows. The use case for this is when you got one rule working that was maybe kind of complicated and you're trying to create a new rule that's similar. And in the old days, you had to flip back and forth between them and maybe leave the new one in a non-working state that you didn't really want to save. Now you can just have them side by each while you figure out how you got the rule to recognize the right date pattern or to follow a script you created. Hazel contains 2 new features that are definitely in the power user category: lists and tables. The main idea of these features is to be able to provide a list or table of attributes and add logic to your rules based on these lists or tables. You can create the list or table inside Hazel 5, or you can reference an external file. With tables in particular, you can have a list of items and then return values from another column in that table. That's a pretty cool concept. Now, I was able to get the lists to work, but I haven't gotten tables to work exactly as expected. I decided to try the external table option in my testing. I created a very simple table with 4 headings and 4 rows of data in numbers, and I exported that as a comma-separated values file, or a CSV. But Hazel wasn't able to interpret it properly. I thought the problem was that numbers added 2 extra commas at the end of each line, which created 2 blank heading rows, I should say. So I created the exact same table using Excel. Now, Excel 365 doesn't appear to have an export option. I mean, if somebody can find it for me, I would really like to know. You have to save as a CSV file, which isn't really what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep my Excel file. But anyway, you have to save as a CSV. This file also didn't work properly as the input to Hazel. In all cases, Hazel imported all of the columns into the first column of the table. I even tried the tab delimited option from Excel into Hazel, and I had the same issue. Now, Paul and I have been trading information, and it looks like the problem in the Excel export is with Windows line delimiters in their CSV format out of Excel, and it was the double comma at the end of the CSV files from Numbers that caused 2 empty header cells, which basically breaks everything when you try to do the import. Paul is working on some solutions, and in the meantime, I think I'd just work with embedded tables for now until it gets sorted. You could also use another tool to clean up your CSV file, maybe BBEdit with Zap Gremlins, I don't know, something like that. In any case, it's a cool feature, and this is a brand new product, so a little bit of kinks to work out, I think. The bottom line is that Hazel 5 is a very welcome upgrade. If you've used it before, this is not going to be jarring at all. It's more like if you got your kitchen remodeled, but all of the appliances were still in the same locations, so you know where everything is. It's better, but familiar. There's a couple of bugs I think to be worked out, but I'm writing this. I wrote this up like a week after this entirely new design was released. Paul is super responsive, and I know the few rough edges I found will be polished off quickly. He did make one crazy decision. He's only charging $20 for this upgrade, no matter how old your license is, and even if you have a family pack license. I personally think he could have charged a lot more, but don't tell him I said that. If you haven't ever bought Hazel before, it's $42 for a single license or $65 for a family pack. I love Hazel, and now I love it even more now that it's a standalone app.
Whew.
There we go. Alistair says he uses Clean My Mac 10.
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussion about Clean My Mac.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, has it changed? Because it used to be kind of a pester software, right? Didn't it used to pop up a lot of...
There was some problem a long time ago
but
with
I
it.
Think
but that's like...
I think they've straightened it out.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems to want to get rid of cache files, and the cache files just come back. So, yeah, I don't know.
So I got a question about this app sweep feature.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do to app delete?
So app delete, the developer passed away. So, remember Reggie Ashworth?
Reggie. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not supported. He didn't pass it on.
He had a friend. Well, he didn't know he was going to die.
Well, it wasn't passed on.
Well, there was a guy who was trying to keep it up to date, but I don't know. I seemed to feel like it was falling behind. So, I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, it just finds... I don't know that it's found everything, but it appears to be finding a lot, and it was finding more than Parallels Toolbox. So, there's another one that people like. App Zapper is one people like. I've never used it, but a lot of people do it. Okay. So, Alistair says getting rid of cache files still helps as they build up. Yeah, I don't know. Does it ever tell you you've got 14 snapshots? That's the thing. Well, Steve had that problem with all these snapshots, and he was completely paralyzed. Couldn't use his Mac at all.
How did we solve that? I can't recall.
We did it I deleted them by the command line.
Yeah, but it didn't come back. That was weird.
Yeah, but there was that's a whole thing. It's something that
it was a known problem. Several people had it, as I recall.
Well, yeah, it still is. All right,
but I haven't had it since.
Break.
Pledge break.
It should be fine. Okay. If you find value out of the work we do here at the Podfeed Podcast, I'd like you to consider becoming a patron. By that, I mean go to podfeed.com/Patreon and show your support in a financial way. If you're not able to do that right now, consider an alternative path. Corner your friends, family, and coworkers and show them how to subscribe to the shows we do here. That would be even more fun. Their shortest pledge break in history.
Doesn't get shorter than that.
All right. Gotta show off the macro.
Oh, hold on.
Well,
you got
it already.
Okay, you did. You're on top of things.
I don't even need
Look at you. You don't need a producer. I'm out of a job.
Yes, I do, dear. I couldn't make the live stream go if you hold a gun to my head. I have no idea how to do it.
And I'm not showing you.
And I know you don't, and you never document anything either.
Job security.
I guess so. Is that what it is? Let's get some security bits music in here. All right. Oh, Hazel? App Delete says it's compatible through Catalina. Oh, maybe he did keep it up. It was one of his best friends that was working on it. I've got to find the hum on your microphone, man. This is nothing like when you're on a Zoom call.
Do you guys hear a hum on my microphone in Discord?
Yeah, you guys are just listening through the internet. I don't know.
So the secret is I just apply the hum to the feed I'm sending you.
That's great. Okay, so I'm going to send you a screenshot of what I'm hearing. So this is, you see the dead spot between when Steve wasn't talking, and you see how thick that line is? That should be a flat line. Steve, do you have do you see mine in the same way? Take a screenshot of mine.
Let's see if
PDX Kurt is here.
PDX Kurt.
Do you see that same thing that I can see of yours?
Hold on.
Do you?
Where's your audio? Allison,
so if you
audio.
click on me in the layer stack, you should see it. Yeah. So I'll talk, and then I'll stop talking. And then I'll start talking.
Yeah, yours looks pretty low.
Yeah.
So just consider my that noise floor. Call it quantum foam.
Steve, I don't want quantum foam. I told him to come in here and listen to it himself, and he said, no, I don't want to.
I don't want to hear what you're hearing.
Wait, listen.
Blink.
Oh, lovely. One more time.
Blink. Blink.
I really should cut these into a big pile. I don't know how to just...
Yeah,
actually,
Alistair...
Jill's here. Jill, I've got this, let's see, this. Yeah, we are still on this. So I've got this little thing. How do I clip that little piece out and save it as something? Like, I just want to grab that piece. Just want to get that piece and do something with it.
How about cut? Is there a cut function or
yes.
Copy?
There. Now it's gone. Now what would you like me to do?
It's in a buffer. Now go paste it where you want it.
I can't paste it anywhere. Jill says what? So I've got this little piece here, piece of audio, and I want to cut that out and save it to a file, for example.
Oh, saving to a file, that's different.
Copy. Okay. Or cut, sure. And now what? The problem is Hindenburg can't have more than one window open, so I can't open it and save it in another one.
Favorites.
I don't want it in my favorites.
Well, it's going to be. You're going to get a lot of plinks.
I mean, I've got other important things like this one. This is an all-time favorite.
I shall plinky the plink plinks.
I mean, I saved the really good ones in favorites. Can you export selected? Let's see. I don't think so. File, export from iDevice.
Selection.
Look at that, Alistair.
Good job, Alistair.
Is that really? Let's see. Where am I going to put that? I'll just put it in here. Let's see if that works.
Oh, it looks like it's doing it.
Amazing. Might have.
Wave.
It worked! Alistair, you're a genius.
Was this adapted from a Windows?
It's cross-platform, so it's pretty non-standard. All right. Yay!
Good job, Alistair.
Paste to file option. Thanks, PDX Kurt. I don't want it in my favorites. I keep the good ones. All right, so now I can delete all that. Good. I need to find a place to save them all. Probably keep it. What's going on today, Bart?
Oh, goodness.
All right. Let's slide Bart over and see. Okay, Steve, get ready to micromanage my alignment of my audio here.
I'm ready.
That would be even more fun.
That's pretty good.
But the second one's the hard one. Well, it's that time of the week.
Perfect.
Oh, I nailed it.
Nailed it. First time.
Nailed it. I think class is going to get out early. So look at that.
Yeah.
I only did 2 reads, and it's an hour and 36 minutes.
Yeah, well, after last week, I think it's the least you can do. You were 15 minutes over last week.
All right. Of course she nailed it. No surprise there. Thank you, Sandy. Hey, everybody I talked to asked me about my pillow.
Look at that pillow.
They all ask me about my pillow. They see it in the background, and
what does it
Sandy
say on the
made
back?
this. If anybody doesn't know, it's got some pod feet on the back, and it says, it's too hard to hold up, with an ever so slight Apple bias. Sandy Foster, Henderson, Nevada, October 2018. That's been 2 years? There it is. Isn't that the prettiest thing? Yeah, people always notice. They say, oh, I can tell you're an Apple fan. I see your pillow. Like when I'm in a Zoom or something.
Ever so slight.
Ever so slight. All right. Well, I think I'm going to mute Steve. Oh, it's so nice when that hum goes off. Are you the mother to the MSR podcast guys? They refer to your motherly often? Huh. I haven't listened in the last couple of weeks. I gotta go listen to that. Well, that is going to wind us up for this week. Don't forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions. You can do that by emailing me at allison@podfeet.com. You can follow me on Twitter @podfeet. And remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com, right? You know that. You want to become a patron? podfeet.com/Patreon. You want to do a one-time donation? You can do that too. podfeet.com/PayPal. If you want to join our community, you could join our Slack if you want at podfeet.com/Slack or our Facebook community at podfeet.com/Facebook. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, and we still miss Kevin, but hopefully he'll be back soon, you could head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. and join the... Okay. I don't know why that one was so hard. And if you want to join... And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, we're still missing Kevin, but he'll be back soon. Head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right.
Well done.
I've got to figure out this HDR with Big Sur. Some of these icons are making my eyes bleed. John, I saw you say something. Jill says you like Apple. She must not do this much. Do you mind writing again what the problem is, John? Because I have seen a weird icon thing before. Save and add last chapter mark. Say bye-bye. NosillaCast outro should go here. HDR's high dynamic range, right, but he's saying something about the icons being high dynamic range. There's a really weird problem. Actually, I could probably show it.
Could there be an accessibility setting?
No, let me show you what I've seen, and maybe it's a thing. So hopefully you're looking. Let's say I'm looking at the Affinity Designer application, and I do a get info. You can still see that, right? So you see this little icon in the upper left. I clicked it, and I'm going to hit copy. And then let me put that down, and I'll put this down, and I'm going to open up Preview and keep it in the upper left-hand corner here. I'm going to do New. Oh, and it worked. Never mind. Shoot, not all the apps do it. They get all pale and washed out. Most
like
of the
there are two versions?
Oh, okay. So he's saying entire pages appeared pale or gray blue.
That's weird.
I don't know. I gotta check and see if I've put my 5K monitor up to my Big Sur machine. Let's see. He's showing his icons. They don't look weird to me.
They look fine. Huh.
Oh, that's gonna be really interesting. So those look bad to you, John? Because those don't
look bad. So it could be a monitor
all.
situation.
There, I just brought them up in the big screen there. Does that look bad to anybody? Yeah, your monitor might have a problem.
Looks fine here, John.
Well, but that's interesting. What is it that he's getting a JPEG of, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Tim, there's a call for content to help through the holidays. Try out Toast 19. Ooh, an open source competitor. Yeah, Kurt, that would be great.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll take that.
Yeah. We'll take that. You too, Steve?
Yeah.
I'll
help out in any way
Kurt,
I can.
An open source alternative to Toast would be really interesting. I don't think anybody's done anything about something like Toast in a long time.
Yeah.
That's for making... Isn't that for burning CDs and DVDs?
And ripping and... Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, John, I wonder, what's it look like if you're not plugged into the monitor? Does it also look weird? HDR on the picture mode. Oh, yeah. So, so Michael just said change from HDR on the picture mode on the LG monitor. I haven't ever done that on my 5K monitor, but I've done it on this little... I'm sure you guys remember seeing this, but I'm watching the chat on this little portable USB-C monitor. And if I put on HDR mode, man, it's all weird. It's like really hard to see what's going on. It gets all pale and stuff. I still love this little monitor. It's so cool. That is a good question. When did Ed sneak in?
I don't know. He was very subtle about it.
He's pretty late. He might have to bring the drinks. All right. Well, I'm actually done. You guys want to go early?
Let's let him go early.
Create a new Word document. The page looks pale blue or gray. Yeah, you got a monitor problem. Because that did not look... I don't think anything's wrong with your... Well,
what happened to Hindi?
I quit.
Oh, okay.
I'm done with it. I'm working on the ending of the show.
All right, we should let him go.
Give you something to look at. There, you can look at Mars Edit while I finish up the show. All right. Celebrating on Wednesday, Firefighter Grandson schedule. Well, there you go. All right, everybody. Nice to see you guys. Have a safe holiday. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Everybody stay healthy, okay? Bye, guys.